So, new car, and we're going to be doing a video on it today. And that video is, what's it like compared to the F10? So, here we go. Now, I've had this car for about 3 weeks. It's really good fun. It's completely standard at the moment. And I mean, let's set things off the right way. So, it's fast. So, completely standard. I haven't done anything to it yet, and like I say, I've had it for 3 weeks and I've just been enjoying it. So, yous that care about data, let's run some numbers by you. Let's tell you what this car's doing. Excuse my hand, just trying to get it in a better position. So 0 to 60, best I've done in it, 3.0. If you want to pose that to something like my F10, on a really good day, I might put a 3.5 out of it. So even with all that power, I really struggled to put it down, and because of that, 0 to 60 always suffered. Moving over to quarter mile, it does it in a 10.9. That 10.9 is roughly, I believe, at 124 mile an hour. In my F10, I was getting, I think it was a 10.8, but really bad traction again, and at like 145 mile an hour. So you can really see that I struggled to get grip, and then once I was gone, I was accelerating so hard, but I ended up with a really bad time. And then over to 100 to 200 times, best I'd out of my M5 was a 4.6. And this one is doing it in 7.1 at the moment, so quite a big difference there. A stage 2 M5 F10 will normally do it in about 6.5, and a stage 1 F10 will normally be doing it in high 6s. Some of the F90 guys are saying that they've managed to do like 100 to 200 and like a 6.9 and stuff like that, but I personally haven't. As for power, we've had this on our dyno, and it made, I think it was like 611 brake horsepower, and they quote from factory, being a competition, that it should be about 618. So this is a 2019 model, so it's a pre-facelift. It's a competition, and probably said competition far too many times now, but it's that is what it is. And like I say, it's still got all its warranty on it. It's had nothing done to it, and I've just been trying to learn as much about the car as I can. And a lot of people are asking, especially the guys that know me well, how are you finding this compared to being in an F10? And I'm gonna go over the differences. So most of it is positive, but there are a few little bits where the F10 shines actually. So first thing is, the F10 is a lot more exciting. It's actually one of its downsides as well, because the thing doesn't get any grip, but the fact that it doesn't get any grip is actually really exciting. So you'll find that you're spinning up, you might be in 3rd gear. I mean, there's a video of me there at VMAX in 4th gear, losing the back end and literally facing round the wrong way. So that's how crazy an F10 is. The fact that BMW decided to make such a powerful V8 twin turbo car, rear wheel drive, I think it's amazing. I think it's brilliant, but they have rectified it this time by going 4-wheel drive, and they've left it switchable, which is nice and fun as well. So yeah, definitely the F10's a lot more fun. If you put this into rear wheel drive mode, it does feel like an F10, but I mean, the F10's like that all the time, and you just get used to it, where in this you're a bit more apprehensive to use the rear wheel drive mode. Other thing I'd say is the gearboxes. So F10's got a DCT 7-speed box in it, and a F90 has got an auto 8 in it. So what differences do I notice? One, this box don't need to warm up. Any of you guys with DCT boxes probably be used to, in the winter, the box feeling a bit horrible, like going into reverse and first startup. You don't have that with this, but what you do notice is when you're really going for it, the gearbox seems a lot laggier than a DCT box does. So a DCT box, like, the gear changes feel like basically instant, where with this box you can feel the change. You think, come on, get through them gears, get through them gears. Now, I am told that a gearbox remap will clear it up, but to be honest with you, I can't remember the difference between the two, so we'll have to see. All I know is that the DCT box is very, very sharp. What else can I say? F10 M5 definitely has comfier seats, but these seats look bloody cool. So they've both got good seats depending on what you're more interested in. For me, I quite like having cool looking seats. And obviously the main benefit of this is the traction. Being a newer car, it is more luxurious. Yeah, it's got more sort of creature comforts in it. I mean, the way the 360 camera works, and you can dial into the car while you're away and take a 360 screenshot. Most of them have all got Alcantara dash on them, and fragranced aircon. So I know some of these options you can get on an F10 as well, but they seem a lot more commonplace on the F90. Suspension is actually pretty stiff. The competition suspension is pretty stiff on this. For someone like myself, I quite like it, but I'd say if you're an older guy that really just likes to cruise around, maybe it'll be too stiff for yourself. But yeah, that is the main differences between this and an F10. If you got an F10 and you're thinking, oh, shall I be jumping on an F90? I think it depends what you're using it for. If you're really getting annoyed with like the traction, or you're one of those guys that likes to keep your traction control on all the time because you're a bit nervous of it, then by all means jump in an F90. And like I say, they are nicer inside, but they're not a million miles away from each other. As for handling, weirdly I say the F90's actually got better handling as well. They really do stick like they're on rails, and I don't mean just because you can put the power down around the corners. I mean on like low throttle corners and that as well. They got a lot less body roll in them, and they feel like they've got a lot more mechanical grip. That is probably the main differences that I've picked up on the car so far. This one, as I say, is completely standard. Sort of the plan with this car is to go stage 1 with it, and log everything again. So tell you guys what power it's making, what its 0 to 60 is, what its quarter mile is, what its 100 to 200 is. Log all that, and then you sort of know what the car can do without sort of spending any money on changing parts. Then I'll go stage 2, removing the catalytic converters, and see what the difference is between the two. Then I'll go stage 2, removing the OPF filters as well, and then I will eventually be playing around with mixtures of race fuel and ethanol in the tank as well, because I know these are quite timing restricted on normal 99 RON fuel. I've shown you guys what this car's like in 4-wheel drive mode, shown you that it grips up pretty well. It's pretty crazy. What we're going to do is we're just going to do one launch with it in rear-wheel drive mode as well, just so we can see the difference between the two of them. Now unfortunately you guys can't see my speed or anything, but I'm pretty sure if it spins you'll hear it and you'll be able to tell, and I'll let you know that what speed it's decided to spin up at. So that is pretty much, I'd say, the biggest thing that everyone always thinks between the F10 and the F90 is the fact that it's 4-wheel drive. If this car weren't 4-wheel drive, there probably wouldn't be that much point in upgrading from an F10, because you're just buying a more expensive F10. The biggest thing I would say is the fact that it's 4-wheel drive, and it is quite a hindrance in an F10. It does really get in the way of things. The more power you make, obviously the bigger a problem it becomes. So what we're going to do is just going to give this a test now. Just going to slow it down. So there we go, we're at stop, and spun. Okay, so by about 60 we hooked up, but we first broke traction there at around 20 mile an hour. I eased off ever so slightly, and then it broke away again at 40 mile an hour. So yeah, it's good, but I got to admit, we've got my adrenaline going. Like I say, feels a bit like an F10, but you just don't really tend to use that mode, because I mean, why would you, unless you want to have a little play around? I mean, you want the grip, right? So yeah, that probably concludes this video. Probably covered everything. I've got some other bits like some Project Gamma intakes ready to go on it, so I will be putting those on. What Project Gamma bits have we got? Got the carbon intakes and got their charge coolers, so if at some point do decide to go over to methanol or anything like that, they've got the buttons in a really good place. But like I say, I want to go through every level on this car. I want to get stage 1 dialed in, nailed, fully data logged. If you're looking at getting stage 1, I want to be able to tell you everything about it, every single bit about it. I want to know every single fine detail, and it's going to take me a few weeks to get that, and then I'll do the same on the stage 2. I will try to document everything. I do find it quite hard to get time to do these videos, but I will make the effort to get them done because they're interesting for all of us, right? But yeah, thanks for taking time to watch the video, and I hope you enjoyed it.